Being a veteran comes with honor, but can also be mentally challenging. As a veteran yourself, how can we approach the conversation of well-being and mental health with veterans?
For service members and veterans, addressing mental health can be challenging based on what we know about what a service member or veteran does while in service, especially if they're in their leadership, because, they are trained to lead from the front, make sure that they're taking care of their subordinates before they address themselves. So naturally, when a service member exits the military and becomes a veteran, meaning no longer serving in the military, for this particular definition, they carry over that behavior. So they have this personality of, I take care of everyone else, and then eventually I address myself. But I like to remind my fellow veterans that the best ability is availability. In other words, you have to take care of yourself physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Because if you don't, you got to start operating on E. And so you've got to take care of your mental health as well as take care of other people first. That way, you're not trying to transfer what you don't have. So it's important to convey to veterans that you really do need to also take care of yourself before you can take care of everyone else. So it's very important.
What are some signs that you look for to suggest that a veteran might be struggling?
With veterans, even though we know they are a unique population, they are just like other demographics. What I mean by that is you want to look for things that are considered outside of their norm. In other words, these are behaviors that don't typically align with how they act every day. And some examples would be if someone is very outgoing, outspoken, and all of a sudden they're reserved, they don't talk as much. In fact, they might avoid conversations. That could be a red flag. If they are making statements like, pretty soon you won't have to worry about me anymore. We know those are indirect statements calling out for help, but sometimes we don't realize that's what it is. And so we bypass that. We don't realize that they're actually calling out for help. If a veteran is typically, cool, calm, and collect, under a stressful situation, and now all of a sudden seem to be very short-tempered, get angry over the littlest things. Again, that's another red flag. So again, we always want to make sure that we're looking at things that are outside of their norm. That's not how they operate. Those should cause us to take a time out, ask questions like, hey, let's unpack what you just said there. What did you mean by that? So that would be a good way to address it better.
Man Therapy is a website to help bridge the gap in talking about mental health. What are some ways you've brought Man Therapy to the veteran community, and how have veterans responded to Man Therapy?
With my position at the Ohio Suicide Prevention Foundation, I'm also the co-lead for the Ohio Governor's Challenge team, meaning I do have a lot of access to current military service members and veterans because of the role that Danny Eakins and I from the Ohio Department of Veteran Services serve as those co-leads with the Ohio Governor's Challenge team. Meaning we have access to the Ohio Department of Veteran Services, the VA, Ohio Mental Health and Addiction Services, the Ohio Army National Guard, and veteran-related organizations within the entire state of Ohio. We are able to provide many, many different resources for them, and obviously one of them would be Man Therapy, because we know that Man Therapy really resonates with our veterans based on the way it's packaged. It also aligns with our first responders because in the state of Ohio, in a given time, a large population of our first responders are also veterans themselves. So we're really reaching two different demographics with this fantastic resource because how it's framed. Yes, we recognize Man Therapy uses humor. However, it gets the message across and it opens up new doorways that a veteran may not have want to venture down before. So we are hearing great feedback from the field of the resources that we're sharing, particularly through that Governor's Challenge. And we look forward to, giving this information to other states when we're out networking with other states for the Governor's Challenge. But hey, this is a national resource. And this is what Ohio is doing. So maybe you should bring this great resource to your state as well. We're really excited about, what we're going to do in the upcoming year with this campaign. And I expect great things when trying to reach veterans.